Hey guys, welcome to a new series. This is a resource pack development update series where every 2 weeks I will be showing you progress I have made on the resource packs I'm working on. This first update is for Java aspects. That's the first pack we're going to be focusing on because it's the thing that most immediately needs to be updated for 1.17. In this first update, I'm going to go over what I've added since the last update so far and what still needs to be added before we can release Java aspects fully for 1.17. So there's a lot of stuff I've done. The first is I have completely redone fogs. Fogs previously in Bedrock Edition were controlled by the Biomes client exclusively, but in 1.17's early betas, or I think actually 1.16.100, doesn't matter, they added fog customization through individual files. So what I did is assign every biome in the Biomes client a unique fog identifier that uses the Java Edition biome name so that we can now control biome fogs through a Java Edition style system, and also any new fog rules that I could change, such as rain fog distance, I also changed to match Java Edition. That was the first big thing I did after the last update. Then I took a really big break. A really big months-long break from working on any resource packs. When I came back, the first thing I worked on were Stone, Bedrock, and Deep Slate random rotations because Bedrock Edition has random variation functionality, and I've used that to create Stone, Bedrock, and Deep Slate random rotation from Java Edition. The reason I did not use random rotation like the rest of the Bedrock Edition system uses is because Stone, Deep Slate, and Bedrock have specific rotation rules. They can only be mirrored or flipped 180. They will never be flipped 90 degrees. So the Bedrock Edition system could not work for them. But using variations, it is possible. Then I took another break. I added a few features from people sending me stuff, started implementing new features from Lucas Pa's Lucas Java Parity Pack, and then took another big break until now, just a few days ago. So this is all the stuff that I just did and there's actually footage for. I am working on implementing Lucas's new item icon system into Java aspects. This allows us to have wall icons that match Java Edition, better overlays on more blocks. We can do conduit icon, scaffolding icon, end rod, and shield in the inventory. It'll all look like Java. Those are all new features coming in the next update because I am redoing the item icon code. I also got high resolution images for the icons. I've actually scaled them down a little bit because before they were so high resolution that it was lagging. It's still a little laggy, but it should be more manageable. It only really lags the first time you open the menu now. Then other things with the item icon implementation that have been difficult are I have to make the trade screen work because the trade screen uses a slightly different rendering method. Now, Lucas already has it working in his pack, but I have to go through his code and make sure it's good because one thing I really like to do when I'm implementing other people's code is go through it, ensure that it's good quality and it all works, piece by piece at it, and then make improvements where I can. So for example, with Lucas's code, I did not leave it unchanged. I changed the names of certain things just because they matched better, such as changing silver to light gray, because that's the Java Edition naming scheme. Or I added conduit icons instead of an overlay. I added the end rod icon instead of an overlay. Just various little changes that get us to a more Java Edition experience. Of course, when I say it out loud, it doesn't sound that difficult, but I'm dealing with Bedrock's UI system here. I'm dealing with a bunch of scalable images. I'm dealing with overlays and bugs and different versions having different issues with using the item ID aux. There's a whole list of reasons this item icon thing has taken so long, and it's just because there are a million roadblocks, but it does look good. The walls especially, with their Java icons, look great, and slowly but surely they are being fully implemented into the pack. The next thing I did was update spawn eggs. And so whenever there's a new update, I always have to add the spawn egg texture because Java Aspects uses direct textures for spawn eggs instead of using the Bedrock Edition creator, just because that's how I've always done it. And it is easier than redoing everything to use the new Bedrock system of overlay colors. So I added the axolotl, goat, and glow squid spawn egg icons, and I also changed their names in the language files from spawn axolotl, goat, or glow squid to axolotl, goat, or glow squid spawn egg, like Java Edition. Then I went and added some new splashes from 1.17, which are Black Lives Matter, be anti-racist, learn about allyship, speak out against injustice and up for equality, amplify and listen to BIPOC voices, educate your friends on anti-racism, support the BIPOC community and creators, stand up for equality in your community. Then I changed a few splashes such as sexy is now moderately attractive, now Java 8 is now Java 16, and OpenGL 2.1 if supported is now on OpenGL 3.2 core profile. I also removed 2 splashes, one because this one is not my, by the way, none of these splash changes are my thing, this is all just copied exactly from Java Edition. So I removed the woo/v splash and the woo Minecraft forum splashes. I suspect Minecraft forum was removed because the forum itself shut down and was archived, and /v because they probably don't want to reference 4chan anymore. Now we get to nitty-gritty small stuff that I've been doing. So in Bedrock Edition, to remove this little text that appears under items in the creative menu when you search like nature or construction or whatever, you have to add a single file, a single JSON file with that item name and the item category null, or I guess you can literally make the category anything except nature, construction, equipment, or whatever the last one is. Nature. I said nature already. But the thing is, you have to add one JSON file for literally every single item. So that's something I spent a while doing just now. We are now back up to date. All the 1.17 items have been given custom files for themselves that take away the name of the category, and that is because in survival mode you can see the categories which you cannot see on Java Edition, and I do prioritize survival mode over creative mode when I'm choosing features for aspects. Next, I went through the textures that Java Edition has updated and Bedrock Edition has updated recently and found a whole bunch of stuff that was out of line, so I removed a bunch of stuff from Java aspects because Bedrock got up to date. I added old sign textures that Java hasn't updated but Bedrock has, and there was no parity there. I removed like quartz and iron and crafting tables because Bedrock Edition changed those finally. Oh yeah, I added the new Mountain Biomes to the Biomes client. So before, I only had the biomes from 1.16, so like the new nether biomes were the last things in there, and now I just added the snowy slopes, the snow-capped peaks, Mountain Grove, Mountain Meadow, and the last one that I can't remember. Those are also now in the Biomes client with Java Edition colored water. What this first update really shows you is this is all the stuff that I have to do every single update. I have to update all the spawn eggs. I have to update all the category removing properties. I have to make sure the icons still work. I have to make sure... Oh, I didn't even mention this. So whenever there's a new update, particles in Bedrock Edition turn to face the camera, and in Java Edition, they turn to face the screen. That's just 2 slight differences that are noticeable. So every time they add new particles to Bedrock, I have to go in and change look at XYZ to rotate XYZ. So I did that for this update. Now, the thing that I really have to focus on doing before this update can fully release is fixing various bugs. I have this list on my phone of every bug that people have reported to me, and it is so long. Mostly like holding animations, the eating animation, pillagers don't have crossbows in their hands. I'm missing sound identifiers from Java Edition. Nether ambience is still in the pack for some reason. Bed icons have been removed, but I'm going to re-add them because I thought I could do it a different way and it didn't work. People report a lot of bugs to me, so I have to investigate every single one and check, is this an issue? Yes. How do I fix it? And that is the main thing I'm going to focus on now. I don't want to try to add too much more to this update. This needs to be a bare bones update that gets stuff up to date and out quickly. The one thing I'm going to try to do is finish the implementation of Lucas's Java parity pack into Java aspects, because Lucas did announce that he has stopped updating that. So if I implement it all now, that will be literally the last time I ever have to mess with Lucas's UI code, which will be good because his UI code, it is great. Lucas is one of the best people at UI code. He's up there with Crizzle and Mark Jones and all these other people who I'm forgetting who are really good at using UI code. Much better than me, so when I implement stuff into my pack, it takes me a while to figure out how it all works. And I should probably mention, so much of what can happen with Java aspects is thanks to other people. I am not the principal person keeping everything up to date in Java aspects. There are Zhu Chenyunfei. He does so much stuff relating to particles. He's basically the reason for all the particle-related stuff in the pack right now. He also has done animation stuff occasionally, like cape movement is something small that I'm implementing in this update. And then Lucas is great at UI code. Crizzle has also UI code, like the boss bar implementation from past updates. And then I also get so many contributions from Nettingus NG, Deheron L, and a bunch of other people who I'm forgetting their names. I'm so sorry that I can't name everybody here. There is a credits in the Java Aspects files where you can read everyone who's contributed to the pack, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been contributing features. I love that. But there is a point where I have to cut it off and say I need to focus on bugs, get this version out and working before I start adding new features. And that's, I think, where the point where I am now. I've added the basic textures and stuff that I needed, like the pumpkin top where they removed it to avoid showing a pattern that could look like a swastika. And for some reason, Bedrock hasn't added that yet, so I added it in Java Aspects. Like baby zombified piglins had broken swords again. That's been a bug like 3 times in the pack because the developers keep changing how it works, so I have to keep changing it too. Developing Java Aspects is like building a house out of hay, and some of the hay is gotten from your neighbor and you're not actually sure if his hay is the exact same as yours. Because every time I build it, a new update comes out, and it's like a new blast of wind comes and half the hay goes everywhere and I have to rebuild parts of the house. That's every update I have to do this stuff. So if I do the basics now, get the house built before I start adding bricks, we're going to get the house built out of hay, get that out now, and then build a brick house later with all my new features that I'd like to add. That was a really weird extended metaphor, but I think you got what I'm going for. So thanks for listening to this first Java Aspects update. This is a bit longer than I intended. I just wanted to talk more in depth about the process and what I'm doing and the future of Java Aspects, which will be hopefully an update within this month, which would mean like 1 more devlog, 2 more maybe before it releases. The other thing about Aspects that's difficult is after I add everything I need to Java Aspects, I have to choose features to bring to console Aspects too and bring that in line. There's a whole lot of stuff I gotta do, is what I'm saying. So I'll see you again in 2 weeks, but for now, I do want to tell you all, thanks for watching, and I will see you later.